What's up, everybody? Good morning. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Dolce Diet Network. This broadcast is coming live on our big sister channel, the Dolce Diet, but also you might catch glimpses of these clips cut up on our newest channel, Mike Dolce Knows. Be sure to check that channel out for short clips and quick hits guaranteed to add value to your life. Today, we're going to add some value talking about morning routines. You saw the thumbnail. We got our man Jocko and also Mark Wahlberg and many others. So I wanted to briefly discuss morning routines. And today, actually, on my own Instagram page, which I will bring that up right now, bam, I discussed my own relative morning routine for you guys to take a look at, to maybe debate, to ask questions about. Simple. Wake up, hydrate, caffeinate, sweat, shower, eat, sunrise. Now, as I said, if you don't have a morning routine, you might want to try mine. If you do have a morning routine, I'd love to hear it. Leave it in the comments below and let me know how well it's working for you. The point is, we all need a morning routine, and morning routines matter because they set the tone for your day. But before we really get too deep into my own routine, I wanted to speak first about this man right here, world famous Jocko Willink. Now, Jocko is a retired Navy SEAL, but I mean, is a Navy SEAL ever retired, by the way? 20 years ago, he retired as a U.S. Navy SEAL in 2010, but his morning routine is as intense as ever. This comes from Business Insider. And briefly, I'll kind of paraphrase this article and share with you those who don't know Jocko. He is a beast of a man, by the way, but there are some issues that you want to consider before adopting Jocko's routine. We're also going to briefly break down Mark Wahlberg's routine. Now, Jocko discusses his own morning routine, and a lot of people tried to adopt this and they failed miserably, and I want to explain that. So what is Jocko's routine? He wakes up at 4:30 a.m. He sets 3 alarms in order to wake up at 4:30 a.m. One is electric, one is battery powered, and one is wind up, right? One is none, 2 is 1, as they say. And then he has a fail-safe just in case. But he almost always needs just one. The other 2 are safeguards. After a quick trip to the bathroom, he takes a photo of that wristwatch to show his Insta and Twitter and social followers to hold himself accountable, grabs his workout clothes, and then he goes to the gym to get his workout, which lasts about an hour. His day 1 workout is pull-ups and muscle-ups and related. Day 2 is overhead lifts, bench, deadlifts. So it's a pull, it looks like, then a push. Day 3 is ring dips and push-ups. Day 4, more overhead squats and things like that. So he kind of has a push-pull legs hybrid running right here. He spends anywhere from a few minutes to a half hour additionally for cardiovascular training, sprinting, jogging, things such as that. Typically, Jocko finishes his workout around 6 a.m. So he's up at 4:30 a.m. He trains intensely for an hour, and he's done around 6 a.m. where he showers and then transition into his day. It says that he does not get hungry until noon. So he goes almost 8 hours without eating, which is an issue, can be an issue, and we'll discuss this. But after work, Jocko gets 2 hours of jujitsu at night and goes to bed around 11 p.m. Now, let's just stop here for a minute, and I will finish the little bit of an article. So Jocko, by his own admission, is going to bed at 11 o'clock at night. He wakes up at 4:30. That gives him 5.5 hours of sleep. That is a challenge for many of us. Maybe Jocko is an outlier and he performs extremely well on that somehow, some way. I'm not sure. But statistically speaking, that would be an outlier. That would be near zero as far as humans who can perform and sustain performance optimally at that level. Why do I say that? Well, I don't so much say that as much as science says that. And here, just very briefly, as we do, we bring scientific merit to all of our discussions. From the Strength and Conditioning Journal, there was a study on the importance of sleep for athletic performance. And I will link this below. And as we go through, what the authors tried to find was, is there an optimal level of sleep for athletic performance? But also, what are the negative outcomes of undersleeping or poorly sleeping or interrupted sleeping? What are those effects on sports performance? Well, I mean, we can see very clearly that sleep deprivation leads to poor performance, reduced motivation and arousal levels, and reduced cognitive process, leading to poor attention and poor concentration, and heightened levels of perceived exertion and pain perceptions. Limitations to physiological processes include disrupted glucose metabolism and neuroendocrine functioning, a compromised immune system, and reduction in cardiovascular performance. Clearly, sleep is important for the athlete by providing the opportunity for the body to recover from training and preparing for subsequent training or competition. Now, general recommendations suggest that 7 to 9 hours of sleep is adequate for psychological, the ability to learn, motivation and memory, and physiological, metabolism and inflammation recovery. All right. So, and additionally, it has been suggested that athletes require greater quantity of sleep. So, and we can kind of run through and go through this. And again, I will leave this below. But the final recommendations for sleep patterns should be specific to the individual. Of course, variability matters. However, at least 7 hours of deep, restful sleep is a general recommendation. All right. And I'm going to leave it there as I come back to you guys and we speak a little bit deeper on this. And we compare number one, Jocko, but also number two, I want to speak about Mark Wahlberg, because Wahlberg is all over the news right now for his own sleep schedule. And briefly, let's jump over to Mr. Mark Wahlberg. And then I will again break this out, compare and contrast the two for you. Now, Mark Wahlberg details a typical day in his life, including his workout schedule that keeps him fit and focused. And mind you, this was this weekend. This was February 19th. This information came out. Mark Wahlberg, 50 years old, opened up about what a typical day in his life is while he was making movies in New York. Okay. So Wahlberg says, tomorrow I'm getting up at 2:30 a.m. in the gym at 3:30. And I finish at 5:30. He goes to work at 7:30 and he shares his morning routine, noting he makes time for a lot of prayer. Evidently, Mark Wahlberg is deeply religious. Now, once he starts working, he'll engage in reading the script. This is after 7:30. But number one, notable, Mark Wahlberg is awake when many people are just going to bed. He's waking up at 2:30 a.m. I mean, he makes Jocko look lazy, which is crazy because Jocko is a Superman waking up at 4:30 in the morning. And the whole point of this, my friends, is takeaways. Before we're done, I'm going to give you very clear takeaways for your own life here. That's important. The star added that timing of his meals is based upon the night before. When I'm finishing work, I probably won't eat a meal. Last meal today was at 6 p.m. So probably noon tomorrow. The actor concluded that he goes to bed around 7:30 p.m. So 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30. Wahlberg's getting about 7 hours of bedtime, but is that high quality sleep time? No, we know that's not. Now, as we kind of scroll through and go on, he talks more about his movies and things such as that, taking on Father Stu, physically prepared for the role, which required him to gain 30 pounds. He talks more about his gaining weight. And he had a schedule somewhere. I wasn't able to pull it up for this, but I might do a deeper dive into Mark Wahlberg's diet also, not just specific to his total schedule. So again, let me break this back down. Mark Wahlberg is going to bed at 7:30 and he's waking up at 2:30. That's giving him 7 hours. Jocko is going to bed at 11 and he's waking up at 4:30. That's only giving him 5.5 hours. And mind you, that is of bedtime. And this is important. Bedtime is not sleep time, right? because you go to bed and fingers crossed, there's a little hanky-panky going on with the Mr. or the Mrs. You go to bed and you're probably scrolling the gram. You're listening to some sort of Paul McKenna, deep, relaxing meditation. You're counting sheep. You're thinking about all the chaos in your life, whatever the heck it is. You go to bed at 11 o'clock, let's say. You don't just lay down in bed and immediately you're asleep. And it takes time to actually go through the tiers of sleep, not Tears, tears, the tiers of sleep. Sorry, let me change this screen. I want to remove that. It's slightly distracting to me. That's even more distracting. Boom. So you go through the tiers of sleep, and it takes time to actually get into deep sleep. Now, all the sleep studies are based upon deep sleep. There's a saying in the scientific world that sleeping less than 6 hours is as if you have not slept at all, because your body has not been able to repair any of the damages of the day before effectively. So you go to bed negative, you wake up negative, and then you go to bed the next night at a further negative, you wake up the next day at a further negative. You're not even able to achieve homeostasis, which is balance, which is zero, by sleeping 6 hours or less. Unfortunately, it appears Jocko falls into this category, unbeknownst to him, and maybe he is some sort of genetic phenom super outlier. I will say for now that maybe possibly he is. Mark Wahlberg, on the other hand, is just skimming the surface of what sounds to be optimal, because he's in bed at 7:30 and he's awake at 2:30, and I think his schedule is a little more flux. Now, Wahlberg is putting a lot of time into the gym and to his nutrition, as I'll break down. He deserves a full video unto himself. Now, what I wanted to take you back to is very simply what I have said here for you. Bam. Okay, so you can see my screen. And very simply, what we talk about here on this channel is no matter what time you go to bed, no matter what time you have to wake up, you need to be in bed 9 hours before you must wake up. Okay, so all we have to do, let's make it easy. Does it have to be 2:30 like Mark Wahlberg? Does it have to be 4:30 like Jocko? Does it have to be other times Elon Musk, claims to only sleep 4 hours? There is a severe physiological negative impact of that you cannot escape. And I have a lot of other data and literature. This video is getting a little long, and I don't want to get into that. These are subject to their own specific videos. And I will do a sleep quality, because we have sleep quality, but then we have sleep duration. These are two completely different things. And oftentimes people believe that sleep quality and sleep duration are the same simply because they sleep long. They think that it is adequate sleep, when in fact it is not adequate sleep. Sleep quality is more important than sleep duration, although there are minimum thresholds of sleep quality. And that first threshold is really the bare baseline minimum is 6 hours to like barely break zero if everything else is perfect. If your nutrition is perfect, if your stress level is perfect, and if your relative exercise lifestyle is perfect, then you can probably get by. Ideally, we have to have 7.5 hours of high quality sleep. Now, sleep duration is where we suggest to you guys 9 hours. Going to bed 9 hours before you are set to wake up is the most ideal for you. Why is that? Because you have to put buffers on the beginning of your sleep cycle and buffers on the end of your sleep cycle as you are slowly falling to sleep and then slowly coming out of sleep. That can take up to 45 minutes on each end, and this is not quality sleep. That does not count as quality sleep. That is transitory sleep. You're transitioning in, you're transitioning out. And also the awareness of maybe you have some disrupted sleep. A dog's barking in the distance, the air conditioner kicks on. That can pull you out of sleep. You have to wake up and use the restroom. Your kid's crying. That is disrupted sleep, by the way. You have to be aware of that and take that into account with your overall calculation. So again, let me wrap this up. Then I will answer questions here in the live chat. Thank you guys for leaving those questions. When we go to sleep, we should be shooting for 9 hours of bedtime which will likely equate to 7.5 hours of high quality sleep during that 9 hours of being in your bed. And what we say is base your bedtime on the time you must wake up. So if you're like Jocko and you choose to go to bed, to wake up at 4:30 in the morning, dare I say, Jocko should be going to bed when Wahlberg goes to bed at 7:30. Because Wahlberg's only getting 7 hours of sleep. Jocko's only getting 5 hours of sleep. We got to get Jocko more sleep. An extra 4 hours would likely do him fantastically well. I understand he's busy, and I understand he's got all these other things. So we are now taking these and Wahlberg is a Superman. Jocko's a Superman. Like, we got to understand that as we then apply it to you in your own life. And I want you to have that takeaway. So what I say here in my own routine is wake up, whatever time that is that you wake up. This is me specifically. I typically wake up somewhere in the 5s to knocking on the door of the 6s. The sun doesn't rise in New Jersey right now until after 6 a.m. I forget what time is sunrise. And as I actually stand here right now, what time night? Doesn't even say sun directional, sun distance. Sunrise today, damn, was 6:42 in the morning. So I was awake at like 5:50 this morning, easily, like well awake. And I start waking somewhere in the lower 5s naturally. I do not. Oh, do you guys even see that? I'm sorry. Oh, you do see that. Okay, cool. Now, let me throw that away. I back up my sleep schedule based upon when I'm going to wake up, and that matters. I want to go to bed 9 hours before I am scheduled to wake up. Fortunately, I don't have a hard schedule per se. I schedule my workday to begin with you guys at 11 a.m. Monday through Friday, Eastern Standard Time. 11 a.m. is my first hard appointment. Be it without atypical event. Sometimes I schedule something a little bit earlier in the day. That's fine. But very rarely, 11 a.m. is my first appointment. And that's the appointment with you guys here. Now, there's other things that I do during my day, during my mornings that are work related, business related, but much of it is family related. It's errands related. It is personal health related. And I put my personal health as a priority before anything else. My sleep schedule is predicated upon me managing my own personal health first and foremost, which is why I prioritize deep, restful sleep, which is why I go to bed 9 hours before, typically before sunrise. What time is the sun coming up? It comes up around 6 o'clock or so. I'm trying to schedule my sleep time, and I go to bed typically between 8:30 and 9:30 every night. I'm in bed usually around 9:15, asleep by 9:30 almost every single night. Now, I prioritize that because I know I wake up and kind of, to use Jocko as a comparison, Jocko sets up 3 alarms. Why does he set 3 alarms? I would have to assume he sets 3 alarms because his body's like, please, dude, just stay in bed. Gosh dang, give me one day, just stay in bed. We're working here. And he has to hard start himself out of that with 3 alarms. That's tough. I choose not to do that. And I strongly suggest that all the science supports not doing that. The science supports you allowing your own internal rhythm to wake up naturally, but also the science suggests that you should wake up naturally with the sun. That's chronobiology, and that is what the strong suggestion is. And all the data strongly supports that for the longest life, for the lowest incidence of health conditions, for the highest cognitive and physiological performance. That should be done in that relative manner. So my strong suggestion to you is to figure out, hey, what time do I have to be up? It's like, let's say, man, you got to be in the shower by 7 a.m. to get in the car by 7:30 to get to work by 8:15 or 8:30. If that's the case, how much time do you need for yourself to wake up so you can, let me do it up here, so you can wake up without an alarm. You can hydrate optimally, knowing we are dehydrated as a result of sleeping, through respiration and perspiration, through urination, through lack of eating, lack of drinking during the 8, 9, 10, 11 hours prior to waking up, right? You're asleep, you're in bed for hopefully 8 to 9 hours. Hopefully you haven't eaten or really drank much for 10, 11, maybe even 12 hours, depending on your schedule. Caffeination. Now, someone actually said that I shouldn't be normalizing caffeine first thing in the morning, that an apple provides more energy than caffeine. It was an uninformed statement this person made. I don't drink caffeine for energy. I feel no energy. There's no like, oh, I need a cup of coffee. Caffeine does nothing for me from an energy perspective. I jump out of bed with boundless energy. What caffeine does for me, caffeine is a neural stimulant. Caffeine aids and improves cognition. That is the point of caffeine. It is a cognitive stimulant that allows my brain to fire at a higher level, allowing me to learn more, to do more, to see more, to enhance focus. And also, caffeine provides a thermogenic agent that improves lipolysis, which is the uncoupling of stored fat for the release as energy. So caffeine is simply a means to a higher performing organism. It has nothing to do with being tired. I'm not tired. I'm waking up without an alarm clock and bounding out of bed before the sun. So that individual, they were uninformed with their statement, and that happens oftentimes on our Instagram page. People, they have some sort of point and bone to grind, as they say. So the point being here, my friends, and let me wrap this up and I'll jump into your questions, is everyone needs a schedule. Your schedule allows you to own your morning. And once you own your morning, you are in control of your morning. If you can control your morning, you then control your day. And that's the most important part here. Typically, the first part of the day is the time of day that we have most authority over, and we should be prioritizing our mental, emotional, and physical health. That's what this is for me. I wake up, I hydrate, I caffeinate, I sweat, I move my body. I don't destroy my body, I move my body. And I prefer and strongly suggest lower intensity energy endeavors first thing in the morning. Later in the day, we train at much higher glycolytic output, right? And there's a whole bunch of scientific reason for that. Then I shower, groom myself, shave if I ever, shave and whatnot. Then I eat. And then typically, that's where I typically am eating and drinking my coffee as the sun is coming through the curtains in the morning. That's my typical day. So to you, find your own routine. Adopt mine at first, but maybe you're not at sunrise. That's fine. I strongly advise you, though, to set that clock back and to get your tail in bed 9 hours before you're supposed to wake up. Not 5 hours, not 6 hours, not 7 hours. Get your tail to bed 9 hours before you're supposed to wake up, and watch how early you start waking up. And when you do wake, even if it's at 4 a.m., awesome, or 5, awesome. When you do wake up, get up. Get up and go to the restroom, brush your teeth, take a tinkle, and start to hydrate your body. And watch, you're like, wow, I'm awake. You actually have this energy, and then start your day, start your routine. I would advise against jumping straight onto your phone. Stay away from your email, stay away from the Instagram, stay away from that stuff. You be autonomous and in control of your day. I hope this is helpful. Now, let me answer some questions here. I haven't even looked at the questions yet. Good morning, Gino. Boom, Gino, all badged up, baby. That badge is looking good. You can subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen. You should all hopefully please subscribe to the channel and get that join, or click the join button so you get that badge. Let's get it, baby. You got it. Billy K. Good morning, Billy. List done working out as I listen to Dr. Mike. I am not a medical doctor, although my initials are MD, and there is something to be said for that. I'm not a doctor. Evan Price, what's up, my man? Good to see you, brother. Good morning. Rob, my man. What's up, Rob? Soaking in that sun. I know, Rob, you got the morning routine down. Rainbow, what's up, Rainbow? Reese, good morning. Josh, morning routine is everything. I wake up, make bed, hydrate, caffeinate, walk, and practice gratitude. Amen. Cold shower, goal set breakfast. Goal set breakfast. Love it. Post your core workout. That's actually a good one. I will do that, Andrew. Boom, Rob. Right. Yo, coach, I increased the intensity of my training and started training twice a day and lost 5 kgs in under 2 weeks. Boom. Hell yeah, Rye. That's awesome. Good for you. Coach, what about adult afternoon naps? I don't have, I don't really get I have no need for an afternoon nap. What I will do is once or twice throughout the day, I will shut off all the lights in the facility. Or sometimes like if I'm somewhere else, I'll go sit in the car and I'll just shut my eyes and I'll just kind of recenter myself. I don't take a nap though. Not that I'm not saying you should not, but if you're getting 9 hours of bedtime with 7.5 or more hours of deep restful sleep, I have no desire, and I don't know anyone who really has that desire to take the daytime nap. Charlie, hard to believe that Jocko doesn't drink a protein shake after those morning workouts. It really does baffle me. Jocko's, I would love to talk to him maybe one day when we get more, traction here, when we beat the shadow ban, maybe over on the Mike Dolce Knows channel, which I hopefully everyone is subscribed to the Mike Dolce Knows channel over there on YouTube. Maybe we can get Jocko on, but I think we have to be getting like tens of thousands of views per video. And when we beat that shadow ban, and you guys can help us simply by engaging to this channel, by subscribing, by leaving comments and posts. But Charlie, I agree. I don't understand it. Physiologically, there's really no relevant data to support that lifestyle being sustainable without severe health issues. Good, but he's a Superman. So there you go. Elvin, thank you. I appreciate that. George, Dolce, can fasted yoga flow count for morning lists? Despite some variations in the steadiness of the activity, it's great activity. I'm not mad at the activity, but is it lists? Likely, I don't know. I would be curious to see. And what I would do is I would run, I haven't done this, I would run a experiment and I would put a glucose monitor on to just see how much what's happening to my blood sugar. And also I would have a heart rate monitor on and I would see where my heart rate's going. I would assume that this would not be our version of low intensity. This would fall into moderate intensity, George. Victor, boom, all badged up, Victor. That badge is looking good, brother. Jesse Lee, all badged up, baby. You guys want to get badged up? Subscribe to this channel. Click that little join button right next to it. Become of the badged up army. Badged up army. There are benefits to being badged up members of the community. Adam, how would you respond to someone that asserts it does not matter that their rest periods are inadequate because they're still finding ways to make it work, be successful, and thrive? Well, I would need more context because I'm a little confused by your question, Adam. But in general, I would say we'll use fasted glycolytic activity versus fed glycolytic activity. And that means you wake up first thing in the morning, you do not eat, and you go straight to your CrossFit Metcon workout. Your body will adapt to that and get used to that, and you will improve on that. But your fasted metabolic workout will never be as good as your fed metabolic workout. What does that mean? That means you wake up, you do a little fasted list, you shower, you eat meal 1, you do a little bit of something, you have meal 2, and then 4 to 6 hours later, you go and perform the exact same workout that you would have performed fasted. That fed workout will be better every single time with all parameters being the same. So those who do well are doing well in spite of challenges, and they will never be doing as well as if they rectified those challenges. That's it. It's like someone saying like, oh man, I feel fine on 5 hours of sleep. Sure, because we've adapted to it. And that's what the human body does. That's why our species is still here after we've tried to kill it so many times over the past eons. Right? Our bodies are still here. Think about you and your lifestyle, all the bonehead, dumbass things you have done to your body. Your body's still here because it is adaptable and it tries to survive. So I would say those, though, quote, successful, are not and will never be as successful as they could or should be if they eliminate these known negative outcomes. Richard Miller, boom, all badged up, Richard. Morning, coach. Greetings from Funky Town, Fort Worth. I know we're looking deep into Fort Worth right now. Definitely. Lauren S., all badged up. Lauren, I'm loving it, young lady. How much caffeine are you drinking in the morning? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you say? What do you say? Just got an espresso machine, so I'm hoping to start including that. Be careful. I actually had an espresso machine in my house, Lauren. True story. I had an espresso machine in my house, and I had to get rid of it. Why did I have to get rid of it? Because it was too easy to drink espresso. I was drinking like 6 to 8 espressos a day. It was too easy and too delicious, and I found they went too fast. True story. So now I actually take my time. When I wake up in the morning, I make myself, I boil the water, and I make myself a pour over coffee. It's amazing. I take my time, I do the pour over, and it's perfect. And then a little bit later on, I go to one of my favorite coffee shops here in town, Turnstile, and then I have them usually make me either an oat milk flat white or an oat milk cappuccino with cinnamon. And that's like my little midday treat. I might sip on a little bit, like a half cup of coffee when I leave the house or something. I've pulled it back to about 3 cups worth per day. But I certainly was drinking much, much more than that. And because I really do enjoy it. And was it last November, the November before, when during Just Say November, I went through a complete coffee fast, not because I had a problem or had a health issue. It's because I really enjoyed it. And I figured, you know what? Let me delay this gratification. Let me make my life a little challenging. Let me pull coffee for a little while. So, Lauren, I'd say take your time. You're going to find out. You're going to remember it's too easy to drink espresso when you have an espresso machine in the house. And I found if I'm going to be drinking espresso, I have to get in my car and drive to Turnstile or any of these local coffee shops that I enjoy. Amir, all badged up. Amir, that badge is looking good, baby. I've noticed sometimes coffee gives me a lot of acidity. Also oranges. Green tea is usually my go-to. Go with that. Coffee is never necessary. It's simply an option if it is well tolerated. That is all. Some people, they just deal with some acidity, but I would delve deeper into why are you dealing with digestive issue. So likely there's some sort of digestive issue going on. It could be sleep schedule. It could be stress. It could be because of certain types of foods that you're chronically eating have disrupted your microbiome. It could be because you have a hiatal hernia and the actual flap is not closing properly. And there's many different reasons. I would suggest going to a gastroenterologist and have that discussion and see what they say. Usually they'll put you on a brief elimination diet. Charlie, I blend my apple into my into my coffee just to cover all my bases. Exactly. It was such a weird statement. It was like some people, they just want to be contrarian. Like that's what he got out of that statement was I shouldn't be normalizing coffee. Like, dude, why don't you call the head of Starbucks or the head of Dunkin' Donuts or the head of whatever, a coffee beanery or whatever the hell else? Why are you calling me? Why are you telling me? Why are you blowing up my page? Because I'm trying to, motivate people to wake up and prioritize a routine in their life to gain autonomy over their health and their success. But also he was so myopic in his view that he believed I needed coffee as energy. You don't wake up before the sun because you need energy, right? People who wake up before the sun are naturally waking up in general, right? It's not because I need energy. Look at me. I have boundless energy in my day. Richard, hey, FYI, doctor means teacher, not healer. Oh, I like that. That is fair. I got to be careful, though. I don't want to be, what is it that, I forget. Who's that? Brittany Dawn, right, in Texas, getting sued by the state's attorneys general. Crazy stuff. How would you do a lean bulk? Just increase the side of food you've eaten before, or maybe track calorie counting? My issue is I'm not eating enough. I work out twice a day. Well, rude boy, what we would do with you is I would have you maintain a food journal so you can understand exactly how much you're eating. Oftentimes, we over and underestimate our true food intake. We over and underestimate our adherence to specific programs. We over and underestimate how hard we work. So I would have you keep a true food journal, and I would have you keep a true gym journal. I want to know exactly what weight you're moving for how many repetitions and what is your rest period in between. Also, I would have you keep a true sleep journal. How many hours per night of sleep are you getting? Those are the metrics that we can definitely and very easily manage. If you don't manage those, you're just spitting in the wind. You have no idea where this is going, right? So I would get those locked in. So Rude Boy, I'll do you one better. Get those locked in. Come back here and watch every day, but let me know 3 days from now. I want to know every single thing you ate at the exact same time. So write it in a quick little food journal. Get $1, a 99-cent copybook from the dollar store. I have stacks of them here. I love those things. And keep that food journal, keep that training journal, keep that sleep journal, and let's really see. Let's really see. That's how you start a lean bulk. Which athletes do you respect mostly aside from MMA athletes? That's a great question. No, let me break this. I'm working on a concept right now, but bodybuilders. I respect bodybuilders so deeply because they are willing to literally die for their sport. Now, I disagree with them. The sport of bodybuilding is stupid. It's stupid. Nothing about the sport of bodybuilding makes sense, but bodybuilders themselves are the embodiment of discipline and sacrifice and focus and hard work. Bodybuilders will endure so much pain and suffering for nothing at the end, for a plastic trophy. Even the most famous bodybuilders are broke. It's not like there's a big payday. Very, 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 very few bodybuilders make a living. Very few. There's like a handful of pro bodybuilders that actually make a living from their sport. So why do they do it? So I would segment this. I respect bodybuilders in that focus. I just wish they weren't focused on such an unhealthy pursuit. And that's with regards to the massive amounts of drugs and performance enhancing drugs, which is a very wide category that they consume, and the amount of extreme diuretics and dehydration that they go through. So that's what I completely disagree with that. But they have some sort of odd power inside them. I wish they would turn it to something good. Chris, how many bodyweight pull-ups should a strong male be able to do? 20 dead hang. 20 dead hang, chin-ups or pull-ups, pull-ups overhand, chin-ups underhand, neutral grip is fine. I don't care. 20. That is the standard. Now, very few people can do that, but everyone can do that, in my experience, with dedication and training. Dead hang means all the way to full extension at the bottom and then pull. Not boom, boom. Not that this weird, the bodybuilder just kind of like trying to kip your head over. No. I want your clavicle has to become over the bar, in that the knuckle or your thumb has to be in line with the with your shoulder, right? So it's not chin, because that's easy because people reach. No, it has to be here. You have to get here. If you don't get there, it doesn't count. And if you're not full extension at the bottom, it doesn't count. But 20, Chris, man, you'll see how quick you actually get good at that. Jesse, I'm dealing with the same espresso machine dilemma right now. I'm going to have to keep up around until just say November. Brother, be careful, man. Those espresso machines are awesome and they are ruthless. It's like I walk in the kitchen and she's like, hey, big boy. Hey, big boy. Right? Why don't you come on over here? I'm not going to, because I could say some dirty, crass things about, slots and whatnot, but I won't do that. I won't do that here with you guys. I literally had to get rid of it. I gave it away. I couldn't, because it was getting to be too much. I have IBS and coffee kills me. Wish there was a way to get rid of it. It's horrible. Mike, go and speak with a gastroenterologist. Go and you may already have done that, but I cannot stress that strongly enough, and begin a comprehensive program to fix this. I cannot say it is specifically curable without knowing you and your situation, but you can dramatically improve your lifestyle. And that's what we want, Mike, first and foremost. I know many people who have dramatically improved their lifestyle to the point that they are back to full functioning with zero negative issues. Jesse, I usually do my strength training in the morning, sometimes before my breakfast. Am I missing out on huge gains or performance enhancements? I go very intense at the dojo in the evenings after work. Jesse, you're burning the candle at both ends. It's a little challenging. my man. I would like to see I'd like to see you get some sort of, if you're going hard with a glycolytic activity, if you're training high resistance, high intensity, I would want to see some sugar, the bad word sugar dumped into you. Maybe that's just mixing a little bit of fresh, raw, local honey into your salted gallon of water, and you're sipping on that as you begin your workout. And keep sipping on it, you will likely see a dramatic performance improvement from there. I might look towards like cold pressed juices, like a beet juice. Maybe if you get up early, I might look to blend like a modified version of the breakfast bowl, blend it down into a smoothie 30 to 90 minutes before the workout. There's some things that you could do to get a little bit of that sugar back in your system. Thanks for the advice, Dolce. I will try it with the journal. Let me know, Rude Boy. I'll be here for you. Andre, Dolce, do you think we should train to failure, or how close to failure should we be? Yes, you can always train to failure, but train to technical failure. What is technical failure? Technical failure is no glitch in the system. You can train until technical failure every single time you train, but you should be training at relatively higher repetitions, and that would be above 6 repetitions, ideally between 8 and 12 repetitions. If you're training until technical failure, somewhere, let's say at 12 repetitions, that is just simply you are locked in perfectly, moving that bar, moving the bell, moving the implement through the proper range with no butt lift, with no bounce, with no hitch. Once you hitch, once you bounce, because you can actually add 2 or 3 more reps if you heave a little bit and keep that bar moving. If you're doing bicep curls and you just lean back a little bit, set's over. From there, so if you're doing a bicep curl, I'd say, yeah, you know what? How about this? Do a 1-arm standing bicep curl. So whatever weight it is, 15, 25. I do these with 45s, and I will simply do a single arm bicep curl with perfect form. Exploding up, squeezing at the top, slowly lowering back down, boom, exploding back up again. And once I cannot move that bell without leaning back or without cheating the weight, set's over. Set's over. You can train until technical failure, almost every set, almost every exercise, not until total muscular failure. And there is a difference. Be aware of that. Now that I said that, you'll actually notice that when you're training. Chris, 20. Thanks, Mike. I just did 17 M gas. Boom. Chris, that's awesome. Those are hard, right? Those are hard. And like what I like to do is I like to take a beat at the bottom of every single one, making them just a little bit harder, like a 1/1000, but like I'll rush it because it doesn't have to be a full second in between each one, especially at the beginning. You want to take that full beat at the bottom and explode up. Good squeeze at the top. And when I say at the top, I want to look over the bar. That's what I'm trying to do. So when I pull up, I'm trying to not just go, here. I'm trying to go, here. I'm trying to rotate, because what happens on that chin up, I'm not trying to go here. I'm trying to take this arm through the full swing, because this is my lats contracting all the way through. That's what you're trying to do. So I'm trying to pull myself over the bar so I can actually look over the bar, not just get my chin to the bar. Wrong way. So I'm trying to kind of flex at the neck, not extend my neck. Okay, let me know how it goes, Chris. Top 5 helpful kitchen utensils, or helpful. Most of our kitchen utensils are bamboo. So when we cook, we have all ceramic pots and pans and such that we cook with. We use typically all bamboo for all of our cooking. That's just awesome. So I would go with that. You definitely need a good high quality strainer. So you have the bamboo spatulas and things, which when you have, well, here's the thing. If you're using bamboo, then you can't use stainless steel. Like you're using the bamboo, you can't get under your eggs. But if you're cooking on ceramic, which is rather expensive, but for me, it's a good investment, then you can actually use all the bamboo cutlery. Just because we're getting all the plastics and things like that out of our household. What's it called? The strainer, right? Because you're making pastas and things like that. So you have the ceramics, you have the bamboo, you have a good strainer. What else do we use? We're pretty simple in our kitchen. Measuring cup, right? A glass measuring cup, that matters. What else? A good, boiling pot. Jesse, let me think on that. I can't think of what do we use every single day? We use just the ceramics, a good knife. We got a really good set of knives. What I do, I need to upgrade my cutting boards, though. I love what Rogan's got. Rogan, actually, I got some cutting board envy from I see Rogan popping all the time. I definitely add the honey to the water, and thank you, Coach. Exactly what I was looking for. Awesome, Jesse. Chris, thoughts on supersets, try or even quad sets? I do that from time to time, for sure. Consider cluster sets. What's a cluster set? Cluster set is, I got this from Andy Galpin years ago, and Andy has good content. So Jeff, check out Dr. Andy Galpin. I think he does like the 5-minute physio, and type in cluster sets. Let me actually see something here. Hold on. All right, I don't know. Sorry. So I was trying to see if Andy had something up there. I don't see anything right now. But what is a cluster set? A cluster set is you perform let's say you perform like a 3 to 6 rep max till technical breakdown, not total muscular failure, and you wait 30 seconds. And then you do another, 2 to 4 reps and you wait 30 seconds, and another 2 or 3 reps and you wait 30 seconds, and another 1 or 2 reps and you wait 30 seconds, and another 1 rep and you wait 30 seconds, and another 1 rep, and then you're done. That is a cluster set. Is it a way to extend your set while using relatively high loads? Now, I supersets and trisets and quad sets. Yes, that stuff is good. Also, that is slightly different because you're using much lighter loads. So a cluster set allows you to use much heavier loads, but you can really extend out that repetition range, the effective total volume, right? The workload. So it's an interesting concept, but all works well, Chris. It's like a tool belt. They all have time and place. Ali, why in 3 weeks to shred it is there more fruit than carbs? From example, potato and rice. Great question. Because on 3 weeks to shredded, we are very specific, strategically specific with the type of carbohydrates. We know that carbohydrates from simple sources such as fresh fruits is more readily available. Therefore, we can be more confident that the carbs consumed will be expended over that 2 to 3 hour window before your next meal. Therefore, we are not storing glycogen per se. We are actually using this specific carbohydrate for the next 2 or 3 hours of energy. It's like you're driving from, you're driving 100 miles, but you only get, 12 miles worth of gas every 10 miles, getting you to here, then getting you to here. Why would you do that? Because now we're not storing. Remember, glycogen is a storage molecule. We don't like complex carbohydrates are amazing. We use those, but those then get stored as energy for later use. We love doing 3 weeks to shredded where we're trying to get rid of all stored energy, right? That's why we get shredded. We are not storing energy on our body anymore. We're actually trying to burn all the stored energy on our body vis-a-vis body fat, right? We're trying to get rid of all that. We're trying to run as lean and light as possible. This is where fresh fruit comes in. Nobody does this. We do. This is why I think we are trend setting and why we are the only team with a 100% success ratio in over 20 years in doing this, because they just don't understand how this works. We do. So Ali, I hope this helps you. And that's why 3 weeks to shredded is so successful. If anybody's interested in our 3 weeks to shredded program, you can actually click the link below. I would strongly suggest you check it out. You want to get in amazing shape, lose up to 21 pounds in 21 days. That is how it was designed for our elite athletes. The very same program is available to everyone. Individual results, of course, may vary, but that's to answer Ali's question. Chris, you got it. Richard, Dolce, any advice for fighters with awful hip flexors that can cause them tight, low backs? Yes. Check out my man, Dr. Johnny Amato on Instagram. Amato. Dr. John Amato from the Beth Page Physical Therapy, BPT. Dr. Johnny Amato. He actually helped me. He came down here from Long Island, 2-hour drive to work. I got some low back issues. I got some piriformis issues, some hip issues, and hip flexor issues. He gave me a lot of great protocols. This is a whole video I would have to do, but check out Dr. John Amato, Amato, on Instagram. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick here. Hold on, just so you know what I'm talking about. Perfect. Boom, bang, bing. Make it big just so you can see who he is. Dr. Amato right here, Doctor of Physical Therapy. He's a NSCA, CSCS, orthopedic clinical specialist, retired professional rugby player, works with a lot of combat athletes. Richard, be right up your, that's here, him working on me right there, actually, right up your alley. I would reach out to Dr. Amato, dr.amato_PT. Check him out. Let him know that I sent you to him and see what information he has, Dr. Amato. What else we got here? Adam, if you've hit the wall with max reps on underhand chin-ups, how do you recommend building them up if you don't have an assist machine? Let me show you. Let me show you. It's a good thing you asked this question because let me bang, boom. Let me take this down so you can see right here, actually. See this? Boom. What is this? This is actually dip chin-ups. This is a great finisher. This is how I finish my upper body pull workout. You can't do any more. You hit the wall, jump immediately over to these dip bar chin-ups, or you don't have a dip bar, no problem. You can just put a barbell at chest height and you can perform these. See, my feet are on the floor, so I have a little bit of spotting action. I don't need a spotter, and I can still do these chin-ups, dramatically fatiguing all of these pulling muscles in the posterior chain, as well as the biceps, the forearms, the grip strength, everything, which is awesome. So that would be a strong suggestion, a great way to warm up. If you don't know how to do chins yet, you're not good at chins yet, check these out. Or a great finisher. I was using this as a finisher after destroying my back last week. Ben, hey, Mike, any ideas on how to keep a journal for boxing and skill training? Just write notes. What did I do? And just write down very briefly what you did that day. Always what the date is, and then just very briefly what you did. And what I'll do is I'll put line 1 will be, TRX chin-ups, let's say. TRX chin-ups, and I'll slightly indent, and I do all this freehand with like a pen or a pencil, and I'll just write down, TRX chin-ups, body weight times 30, body weight times 30, plus 15 weight vest times 20. Boom. TRX chin-ups done. And then the next thing, and then the next thing. As long as you have a note, so when you go back, you'll know exactly what you did. And we're always competing. If you can measure it, you can improve it. What age would you start boys to weightlift, martial arts, team sports? I would start body weight conditioning immediately from day one. I did with my own daughters. I've girls, boys, girls, doesn't matter. Immediately body weight conditioning, body awareness matters. Gymnastics, calisthenics, there's free play. I want my kids to run and jump and crawl and climb. I do a lot of unilateral work. I'll have my kids jump, we'll play games. Who can jump on one foot across the kitchen? And then you got to switch and jump on the other foot. Who can jump sideways 2 steps, sideways, and then, back the other way 2 steps? Who can do a quick, scissor squat? And kind of like a Simon Says. Simon Says, go. They'll do a scissor shuffle, and I'll stop. Go. Stop. So what we're doing is we're teaching body awareness that in time can then scale into load. When load, it's really dependent upon the individual. Richard, thanks, Dolce. Hey, I'm from Long Island, Bayshore. So Beth Page, man. Beth Page Physical Therapy. Cost to me, when hydrating in the morning, from being dehydrated, how much do you drink over the first hour or two? I'll probably drink half a gallon. Personally, I'll do 32 ounces first thing in the morning, no problem. So I'll drink 16 ounces room temperature, and I'll drink another 16 ounces as I'm making my coffee. I'll drink another 16 ounces with and alongside my coffee. I'll drink another 16. This is, it's 12 o'clock right now, and I'm done. This is almost a gallon. And plus, I've had a couple glasses of water at the house, too. So this will be easily a 2-gallon day for me. Ben, you got it. Lauren, on my last week of 3 weeks of Shredded, and I was surprised to see how much blueberries are cut down. Super stoked to finish this cut, Lauren. I can't wait. I can't wait to see how well you've done, absolutely crushing it. Because at the end, because it's the end now. So 3 weeks straight at the end, we're just trying to peak. We're just trying to dry you out. Are you doing the dandelion, the uva ursi, the vitamin C to pull out some of that water? Be very interested to see how that goes. And on tomorrow's video, Lauren, I'm actually going, that's actually a good point. I'll do for our shredded community. I will talk tomorrow how to dry out at the end for that last photo shoot. Let's say you're going to do the photo shoot on, what's today, the 21st? And we go through the 28th. So morning of the 28th, let's say, because I want to choose the winner the night of the 28th. So we'll actually say the 28th will be your photo day. So let's get you guys dried out by like the 27th. So I'll do the video tomorrow of what to do. So it'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Ooh, that's a lot of time for you guys. It's going to be awesome. George, thank you. George, you got it, my man. I appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate every single one of you for being here, for spending this time. Hopefully, the beginning of this video was helpful, where we discussed the morning routines. We compared Jocko Willnick's routine to Mark Wahlberg's routine to the science. We showed you the science. We showed you the sleep studies. And I spoke very generally of what you should be doing to apply these known concepts into your own health, into your own life. If you have any questions, please leave them below this video. If you have not yet, consider subscribing to this channel. Definitely give this video a thumbs up. We greatly appreciate that. Also, check out our sister channel, the Mike Dolce Knows channel. All short clips and quick hits guaranteed to add value to your life. That is the Mike Dolce channel. I'll be back on over there in a little while. I appreciate you guys. And until next time, boom.